What a start we've had to this Weber Cup 14 here at the Metrodome in Barnsley. The USA already ahead, but a long way to go. Welcome to the Metrodome. We've never seen it before in the Weber Cup, but already we've had back-to-back perfect games, back-to-back 300 games. Here's what's happened.
Team Europe, captained by Mika Koivuniemi, began their campaign to revenge their loss last year with a great win in the Baker match. However, the USA team, led by Chris Barnes, went on to start their defence in style. Match 2 saw Dom Barrett against Chris Barnes, and the Americans responded to their first match defeat with an impressive, perfect game. Our second singles match featured Europe's team captain Mika Koivuniemi versus Tommy Jones, and it was an incredible match which saw the Americans score the second consecutive 300 game of the event. USA's momentum seemed unstoppable. Match 4 was between Martin Larsen and Mike Fagan. It was a much closer fought contest, but the American kept his nerve to help Team USA take their third victory. Confirmation then that already in this Weber Cup, Chris Barnes and Tommy Jones have both scored perfect games, which is so hard to do in this sport. Europe now trails 3-1, and the pressure now falls on Stuart Williams, who's up against Bill O'Neill in our fourth singles game. Europe really need to get another point on the board and stop Team USA's run. Williams is returning to the Weber Cup for the third season and certainly has experience on his side. Before the event got underway, we found out a little bit more about the man from the Wirral.
I used to play crown green balls, and of course in the winter you can't play because it's very cold outside, so a bowling centre opened up and me and my father started at the same time when we went down. We weren't very good, but we had some fun. Then I joined the local junior league and it went from there. There's always room for improvement, so that always strives to, you know, making the hours on the practice lanes worthwhile. The PBA is definitely the pinnacle of the sport, and to be able to go out there and beat the best in the world and claim the title on that tour is definitely the most important thing I've ever done. I've played twice before. I think it was in 2006 and we won, the European team won, and then I played last year and yeah, we lost. We just couldn't stop the juggernaut. They just kept winning game after game after game, and none of us, not any of the four of us, had an answer to what they were doing. It's all about momentum, and if we can get ahead, that's the main thing for us. We want revenge, you know. There's no way of looking at it other than it was embarrassing last year, and we want them to feel like we felt last year. So yeah, we want to put them down.
Introducing the players here to the Metrodome, representing Europe, Stuart Williams. And now representing the USA, they call him the real deal. It's Bill O'Neill. So let's hand you over to your commentators, Cass Edwards and Andy Bodfish.
So Stuart Williams will open us up here, the fifth match of Weber Cup 14. Fourth in the singles. Europe need another point. They need it badly. It's 3-1 in the United States' favour. And Williams leaves the 10-pin standing. That is not the start he wanted. Long way to go, but he would have wanted them all down there.
Yes, that elusive 10-pin stands yet again. It's a bad looking shot. Lots of rotation put on here by Williams. Gets the ball out nicely, nice and wide, but it is light in the pocket. It's light on that hairpin, so that reaction's not set up. And he takes away a spare nicely in the opening frame.
Need to just pick themselves up. currently, I feel, Team Europe.
Yeah, they don't want it to go to 4-1 with only one more to play in this session. But the real deal, Bill O'Neill, will be looking to put Stuart Williams right back in his chair.
And that's an opening strike for Bill O'Neill.
Yeah, a really wide line here. He's standing way left on the approach, almost bowling coast to coast with that bowling ball, throwing it way right and getting a great reaction in the back end, coming back and carrying all 10 pins. So it's Williams to respond. The man from, he spends half of his time in Ellesmere Port in the northwest of England and the other half in Phoenix, Arizona, which is his base when he plays the American Tour.
Strike number 1 in the second frame for Stu Williams.
Yeah, good looking shot. He'll be pleased with that one. Playing sort of a similar area of the lane to Bill O'Neill, both standing way left, giving it a lot of room to the right. And some big hooking bowling balls coming back into the pocket.
Oh, wow. That went very, very wide and he's paid the price.
Well, that's the lowest score bowled on any ball in any game of this whole tournament so far. A 6 count, and well, he's almost hit the outside edge board there. Missed the head pin totally. He's got a makeable spare here. He's left the 1, 2, 4 and the 8 pin, but it's the pin at the back, the 8 pin, that is the one that may cause some trouble here. He's got to be reasonably accurate, and certainly more accurate than he was with the first shot. It really was a wayward strike shot on that ball. Oh, and he's fortunate to make it, but it's a spare. He's going to walk back, sit down and forget about it.
Thought we were about to see the first open spare of Weber Cup 14 there. Not a bit of it though. They're all down and O'Neill sits down.
Yeah, bit fortunate. He's gone wide again. He's hit the head pin full on and just gets a little trip on that 4. Look at that, the last thing to go. The 4 pin. Williams with a chance to make a double here. And wobbles the 10 pin.
It teetered, it tottered, it wouldn't fall though.
I thought it was going to go for a minute. It was certainly wobbling, and had it started to go and that machine came down and touched it, that pin spotter table came down, it would have had to been respotted, because as soon as that machine comes down and touches it, that pin is in play. Crikey, look at that wobble. Down comes the pin spotter to grab it quickly. Hard and fast. And, well, I thought he might go in the channel for a second.
Say, outside edge. Got it down nevertheless. That's all that matters.
As with O'Neill's spare, it is a spare, and that, as you say, that's all that matters. We'll move on. Trying to keep my eye on to see if O'Neill's changed balls since that last shot, but don't think he has. But that's a lot better shot, right in the pocket, carries all 10, and that's what he's looking for.
Second strike for Bill O'Neill. Frames 1 and 3. That'll do nicely for the US.
Yeah, so the strike gives O'Neill a potential 10-pin advantage if they both keep striking. But more importantly, he has the chance to double in the 3rd and 4th frame, and that will put pressure on those shoes of Stu Williams.
Oh,
well, he's scratching his head. You can see what was left there for a moment, can't you? It was the 7-pin to the left, it was the 10-pin to the right. Unfortunately, he gets a kick off that head pin, which becomes a messenger, takes the 10-pin away. So yeah, a little slightly confused, I think. But this can only be a spare. So he's hard and straight at it and makes 2 spares in a row. But as you can see, his potential maximum drops down to 259.
280, still a potential US score if they can strike out.
Williams, the man with a degree in accountancy, will certainly be counting pins on his fingers in the next few frames, trying to catch up with the real deal.
Yeah,
well,
very nice indeed that from Bill.
It's a double. We talked about it in frames 4 and 5, and he's got it. Still looks a little bit unhappy. It wasn't the perfect shot, but it's counted as all 10. And retains that 21 pin advantage at coming up to the halfway stage. 5th frame for Williams. Only 1 strike so far.
Yeah, that came in frame 2. That's better.
Yeah, much better looking shot from Williams. Managed to set up the reaction in the back end. Carries all 10. This ball starts way left. Hits his mark down the lane, and that is perfect in the pocket. Great looking shot. Well done, Stu. Bill O'Neill working 2 strikes in a row, looking for the first turkey of this game. Turkey, 3 strikes in a row is the terminology we use.
There we go, and he's got it. Hitting his stride now. Here is Bill O'Neill, and that can only be slightly worrying for Team Europe.